Hi everybody, Sam Lewis here, your Royal Mrs. Cheshire for 2021. I've got the lovely Ellen Heatone to speak to us all today. Ellen is a great friend of mine and she's very successful in the St Helens and Rainhill area with her fitness company that she works really hard on. So Ellen, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellen, as Sam just said. I'm actually Ellen Murray now. I was Ellen Heatone back in the day.
You got married? Sorry, darling.
I know. Okay, it's taking me back. But yeah, I'm a mum of two. I've got Max, who's 3, Grace, who's 1. Married to Jamie, and run something called Heatone Fitness, which is my first baby. It's a ladies' health and wellbeing community. So yeah, the goal of what we do is to just empower women to believe in themselves when it comes to the health, the fitness, but the life as well. It's not just about exercise and food, it's the whole kind of package and taking control of that aspect of your life. So yeah, we work with ladies only. We're based in now Rainford, Liverpool, Ormskirk, Rainhill, Whiston, St Helens. So we're quite spread out now.
Wow.
There's quite a big team of us. Yeah. No, it's great. We get to reach lots of women, which is the main goal, that we can help as many women as we can.
How many women do you think you have on your books now, Ellen?
At the minute, we've got about 300. But over the years, we've probably had about 3,000, if not more, over the years come through the programme. Because we have people coming in, some ladies come in and do like an 8-week transformation package, which is like the kickstart, which works really well because they've got a time frame. But most of them, by the end of it, want to stay with us and have it as like a lifestyle for them. They meet loads of friends, and yeah, it just becomes part of their everyday life, really.
Like a social
so yeah,
network.
The community side, yeah. I mean, that's what I love. The friendships that I made through it are just incredible. I'm actually jealous sometimes how many friends they've all got, because they're so they really make strong bonds with each other. It's kind of like we're all in it together, kind of like the world is at the minute, but they're like that kind of on a day-to-day basis.
Do you find, this is just off the train of thought that we're going on then, but I find this with running Sam's Diamonds, I find that because you're the head honcho, do you find that you're a little bit pushed out compared to what everybody else is doing? They all sort of talk amongst themselves and meet up and do all kind of things, but because you're Ellen, you don't get invited as much because they think that you're going to see what they're eating and you're going to see what they're up to.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. It's a little bit more so now as well, because they've got a team of instructors as well.
Yeah.
So I'm even more kind of, not behind the scenes, because I very much love being in the thick of it, but yeah, I'm probably seen as more like, Ellen, the owner of. So yeah, they all go off and do their own things, but I like seeing it though. It's really nice.
Yeah. It's nice to see them gel, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So I've known you from childhood. I was your teacher in secondary school.
How mad is that?
No, it's crazy, isn't it? And I've seen you grow as a person. I've seen you grow spiritually and emotionally, and I was so surprised to see you running your own business doing this. It was like, good on you, so proud of you. What I would like to ask is, where was the turnaround, or what was it that empowered you the most to turn your life around and go, do you know, this is me from now on? What was it?
Do you know, when you sent me this question, I found this one was probably the toughest one to answer, because I think for me, some of mine was a huge lack of self-confidence when I was younger, as you know. So for me, dance was a huge way of escaping that, and of like just being in the moment and feeling like me. So probably the start of it was getting involved with dance and dance clubs and you know,
Shared
and that was, yeah, all down to you. So that was a huge point for me of building that self-confidence. But I still, leaving school, like I always wanted to go down that route with dance, but I still didn't quite believe in myself enough. So I ended up studying psychology, which I absolutely loved because of that lack of self-confidence. I'd always had an interest in like the mind. So yeah, I ended up studying that. But after uni, I decided, right, I'm going to do something for me before I get into the real world. And I went off dancing abroad for a season.
Oh, wow.
Cyprus, and then I went on to Greece, and I absolutely loved it. And I just thought, I'm not ready to get a real job yet. So I managed to get a job in Rainhill High School as the dance coordinator.
Brilliant.
Which I made loads of connections and really, really loved the job. But it was never really going to progress to anything more like senior. So this is kind of a long-winded story here, but
It's cool.
I ended up going back to do a second degree in dance because I wanted to be a dance teacher like you. You were always like,
I inspired you.
And but as I got through that, I got to the end of year 2, and in the summer, I wasn't one for like sitting around, and I needed to fund this degree. I was working alongside it, so I started to teach classes, like Zumba classes. It was always kind of, it combined that perfect dance and fitness, which I loved. And in answer to your question, who empowered you there, I'd have to say it was my husband, Jamie. He was the one who went to me like, why are you going to this guy who runs a fitness company and working for him? He was like, you can go and hire a hall and do this yourself.
Yeah.
And he wasn't my husband at the time. He wasn't even my partner at the time. He was just a colleague who I got on really well with. And yeah, he kind of switched that light bulb within me because he believed in me more than I believed in myself.
Yeah.
And it all kind of stemmed from there, really. First class I turned up and there was 43 women there. I was
First class, well done, you.
This was before Facebook or anything, so
yeah, that's really good.
So yeah, I guess the answer is really that dance, from that dance background, from being in school to then in me believing in me to actually get out there and do it myself.
That is so weird to hear that story, you know, because that's my exact story as well.
Is it?
Exact story, yeah. I literally came out from doing dancing and wanted to become a fitness instructor because I did a big evaluation of myself. What am I good at? What does my mum say I'm good at? I'm really bossy. So I was like, I love my fitness. So I became a fitness instructor. So I did gym instruction, and I did my exercise to music and started doing all that. Built up my own classes, ended up going into health centres doing all the classes. And then one of my clients who I was personal training turned out to be my A-level PE teacher and was like, what are you doing here? You should be getting your teaching degree, blah, 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 which is what I'd always wanted to be, was a PE teacher. So I said to her, well, you know, because I went to an all-girls school, so when it came to me doing my A-levels, I'd found alcohol and boys. So, you know, going in to do PE and, you know, half cut from the night before and doing lengths and lengths in the swimming pool was not working for me. So I got a D in my A-level, and she said, I tell you what, she said, with all your experience in fitness now and teaching classes and stuff, she said, I'll get you an interview and then it's up to you. So she got me an interview and I just went for it. Said, I can do this, I can do this. And my sport was judo. So that's not a typical school sport, you know what I mean? But because I'd excelled in judo, I got on the degree course, and which allowed me to become a PE teacher. But in that time, my fitness was the thing that funded me while I did my degree. And I also danced abroad as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just so bizarre, isn't it?
It really is. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I danced in Greece as well. Yeah. Crazy. Isn't that small world? I was listening to your story going, oh my God, she's me. But I didn't continue with all the aerobic stuff, did I? That's the thing. I went into the teaching, which is where I met you. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has, I suppose it's your husband, how has your husband impacted your life. So what's the difference between the Ellen before and the Ellen now? What impact has it had now that you're empowered, confidence wise, and everything like that? What's the differences between the two Ellens?
I guess it's that kind of just self-belief that I can achieve the things I want to, and it's not like that I am good enough to do it. Because I think it was always that kind of, no, you can't do that. You know, we were just talking about it. You're like, you can try to do it.
You can try.
But yeah, whereas before it would have been, I can't do it. And don't get me wrong, I still doubt myself all the time. And he's the one who often goes like, just try it, you know, just do it. So I guess it's just that I've got more self-belief and I've got a little bit more self-worth than I did have, you know,
You've
like I won't
got a good cheering crew.
Now. Yeah. It's that like building up that kind of belief, because when you've done it and you've proved to yourself that you can do it, it gives you then the confidence to go out and do more of it.
Yeah, it's taking that first step, isn't it?
It's building up that. Yeah, definitely. But I feel like at the minute I'm at a bit of a turning point with things as well. So that's that whole self-belief and self-worth is, you know, you said when things come up you like to deal with them. Yeah. This whole like lockdown situation for me is bringing up quite a few of those like things. Yeah. So I've actually booked myself in for some therapy to talk about it, because I want to work on things that you know, that aren't like quite there yet. So I think for all of us it's like a journey all the time. Like sometimes you think, yeah, I've got this figured out, I'm on the right path, and then something happens and you think, no, I need to work on that again. So for me it's a constant continuous journey of self-development, without sounding too woo-woo, but I do believe that like we're always growing as a person, and you've got to kind of come back to yourself sometimes and do that inner work again.
I think it's quite hard, isn't it? Because a lot of people will sit back and be like, oh, I can't do that. And I don't think I can, so I won't. And then they'll sit in that. And then other people have got the oomph to go, why am I thinking that? And have that extra little bit of thought to go, why not have a go? What have you got to lose? What's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? And what will probably happen? They're the three things I ask myself. And if I can deal with all of them, then I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, that's a really good tool actually, isn't it? To just pause and ask yourself the questions, because I think sometimes when you're doubting yourself, your mind's just like not even giving you a real like...
You can either spiral up or you can spiral down, can't you?
Yeah, definitely.
You can either be a victim or you could be a thriver. Your choice. But you know, you never stop learning about yourself, and I'm on a big kick at the moment to see what, this sounds bizarre, to see what I can't do.
Oh, I love that. That's different, isn't it?
I'm trying to find what I can't do. So if somebody suggests something to me like, Sam, do you want to jump out of an aeroplane? I know the actual answer is no, because I've just fought for my life, you know what I mean? So I'm not about to do something like that. So that's an absolute no. But if somebody asked me, would you like to? And I thought, oh, I don't know. I don't know means I've got to do it now. So if I say, I don't know, then I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a challenge to myself, because it's living your life, isn't it? It's living your life. Instead of saying no to everything, being too frightened, how do you know you can't do it unless you try it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's such a great approach that you have, and so inspiring to hear stuff like that. Like already I can feel that's waking up inside me, where I'm going, this like, you know, point I'm at work at a crossroads, thinking, yeah, what's stopping me? Thanks.
The way I see it is, if I think I can't do it, then I won't be able to do it. If I can do it, or think I can do it, I probably will do it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to know unless you give it a go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you think, oh, I don't know if I can do that, and then you succeed, it's like, oh, I can. And if you don't succeed, you were right. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't do it. So you're either right or successful.
That is so funny you said that, because when you were asking about a favourite life quote, that is the exact quote that I have brought up, the Henry Ford, whether you think you can or can't, you're right.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I really believe in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what empowers you day to day? What gets you out of bed and goes, right, today's going to be a good day?
Do you know what? A big driver for me is helping other people. I know that probably sounds a little bit cliche, but it's kind of like an innate need for me to be serving and helping others. It just it comes so naturally to me, that I feel like lucky that it is like my gift, that I've, you know, been given this gift and I need to use it. So that is a huge driver. Yeah,
I love that. I get that. I'm the same. I need to make a difference to people. I need to help them see that they are worth more than they think they are. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think you're bloody amazing at it, so.
You are too. When you hear everybody from Heatone Fitness talking about how amazing you are and how they've got a new lease of life, and, you know, and they're super fit, they've got the friendships, all that wouldn't be there if you hadn't started it. So, you know, give yourself a pat on the back as well.
Thank you. But I think also when you have kids as well, like for me, that's like gives me even more drive now to get out there and like make a difference and, you know, create a life that I'm happy with for them as well, because I want them to
for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I want them to see like you can go out and achieve what you want to achieve, even when you're sometimes doubt yourself, like that you can get past that and do it.
Definitely. Yeah. So you were saying your favourite quote before was
Henry Ford. So whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Yeah. And for me, that I did a life coaching course a couple of years ago just to kind of complement all the work we do within like the health and fitness, and it was one that come up on that, and it just really hit a note for me. Like it's just literally what we've just been saying, isn't it?
Definitely. If you think you can't do it, you will probably convince yourself and not try as hard because you think you can't. But if you think you can, you're determined to prove yourself right, aren't you?
Yeah. So you're right either way.
Definitely. So if you came across somebody who just wasn't feeling it today and wasn't feeling very empowered at all, what would be your little message to them?
I'd say the first thing is like come back to you, like, because I think as women we do, you know, think about everyone else's feelings before ourselves. We put everyone first. We worry about what people are going to think of us. So it's about actually coming back to you and what makes you feel good on a day-to-day basis. Just the little things, whether it's, you know, chatting to a friend, going for a walk, just the little things that make you feel like happy and good, and actually timetabling it into your day, into your diary. My coach that I work with, it calls it your love bombs. And like dropping in like in your diary the time that is for you, that you're carving out, and you make it as important as like a dentist appointment.
I like that.
So your little love bombs. So I just put little hearts in my diary where it's like Ellen's time, because you know, you'll know, like running a business or being a mum, or, you know, having a whatever is taking up your time, you do always prioritize that. It's just within us, like we always drop ourselves to the bottom, don't we, unless we make a conscious effort to make that time for ourselves to do the things that makes us feel good. And I always feel like I have to justify that in saying, like, I know things like our kids lift us up, our work lifts us up, but actually something that's purely for you.
So you can lose yourself, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. And for me, when I had my first baby, when I had Max, as I am an all or nothing person, don't know if you can relate to this, but when I'm in, I'm all in. And, you know, just talking to you about the pageants, you are all in. You know? And when I had Max, I was all in as a mum. I was like, God, I'm besotted with this child. And I just completely lost myself. I stopped doing the things on a weekly basis, like my own exercise, because I couldn't figure out where that time would be between the baby, work and me, it just dropped. And
it tends to
so,
feel less important, doesn't it?
yeah,
You don't give it the importance it should have.
definitely. But it's only when you feel yourself going lower and lower, and you reach a point where you think, I'm not firing on any cylinders, never mind all cylinders, that you think that time really is important. So yeah, time for you, and not feeling guilty about it would be my main piece of advice.
The little vision thing that I always give our ladies is, if you imagine you're a pint glass, and each time you give to somebody else, they're filling your glass up, and it's getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And then it gets to a point where you're that overwhelmed, it just takes something small to poke your glass and you'll overflow. And then you have a little bit of a breakdown, you get upset, you don't know what's going on and all that. So having that little bit of me time, you just pour a bit of that out of the glass, and it gives you more time to build it up. It's like, I always do these little visual things. I don't know what it is. I understand them better. But it's like, people like to fill your glass and keep going, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that? And you do it yourself. It's like, I'll just do this for you. Oh, she needs me. And you do it yourself. But you have to have that time just to pour a bit out of the glass so that you don't overflow. Because when you overflow, it's too late, and you're so sad, and you go down, and it's hard to pull yourself back up then, isn't it?
Definitely. Love that analogy. I'm going to use that with our ladies this week.
You use it. I love all that stuff, you know. I think it's the teacher in me. I need to find other ways to help people see it and understand it. And I think I'm very visual in my head. Do you know what I mean? I understand things when I see a picture, or I can see an image.
Yeah.
Oh, I really enjoyed that, honey. Really enjoyed that.
Me too. Me too. And it really makes me realise how similar we are.
I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? It is bizarre. I will get you on a pageant stage if it kills me.
I love how influential you are. I'm not replying to you today, Sam.
Oh, okay, go away. She's messaged me. I've not seen the message, honest. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much. Everything you've have said there is really impactful to a lot of people who'll be listening to this now. So they can just take one or two of those things away, even relate to your story. Like I just related to your story, to be honest with you. I think you'll make a big difference to a lot of people. So I'd like to thank you for coming on. And can we give a wave goodbye?
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for having me, Sam. Been